Welcome to Next Chapter Women She Blooms in Solitude, the four-part series Reflections from the Middle, where life isn't falling apart, but it's asking something new of you. This video is for women in midlife, especially women over 40 who feel like something has shifted internally. So you might be navigating hormonal changes, perimenopause, feeling more emotional, anxious, disconnected from yourself, wondering, why don't I feel like me anymore? Today, we're talking about renewal. And so everything is going to be through the lens of hormones, perimenopause, and identity. Not from a medical or clinical standpoint, but from a lived emotional experience. We're exploring what happens when your body changes, your emotional landscape changes, and the identity that once made sense, it just doesn't really fully fit anymore. So welcome. And hi, Maureen.
Jess, I'm happy to be here as always.
Yeah,
How are you today?
I'm great. So we've been talking about doing something like this because we feel like we can really connect with other women, with other people in midlife, because a lot of these issues that we all have going on. And I don't know if you want to kick things off with your eyelashes.
Oh, yeah, let's start there. So, going into this stage of life, and I'm fully in it. I'm 52 years old. I am in the perimenopausal stages, but I'm realizing that this stage in my life, I'm feeling differently. My body is changing. My breasts are drooping. A couple of weeks ago, I lost eyelashes, and I've never lost eyelashes before in my life. So now everything I'm doing, I'm Googling, is this perimenopause? So with the eyelashes, I'm just going with it and being okay with it, I guess. They'll grow back, they say, or I could probably get a growth thing, but I haven't really looked into that. Growth ointment.
Do you think that that's what is going on, that that clump of eyelashes fell? Because when you told me, I was listening and I'm like, of course this is plausible. And of course this could be one of the gazillion things that happen to us. But then I also asked you, are you sure it's not your mascara?
I mean, I've used different mascaras my whole life. I do use eyelash curlers, and it's never happened before. So I was saying, I think everything I'm using is okay. But all of a sudden, I'm putting my mascara on one day, and I don't remember the exact time that the eyelashes fell out. So I don't know if they're clumped on my eyelash curler, but they fell out. So I'm trying to, well, I'll just take my glasses off. There's a big space. So I'm trying to clump them together to make them to fill in the space. And it's really not working. So I'm just going to embrace this. Jess, how about
It's
you?
hard. Well, isn't it hard to embrace? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we had this conversation earlier this week when you're talking about embracing things, and then you mentioned like your chest. I'm sorry, but it's really hard for me to embrace this whole thing that happens with my chest, because I already have enough issues with my chest in the first place. Because I guess anybody that knows me, I have like a larger chest, and that's fine and all when, you're 20 years old and whatever, in your 20s, and even into my 30s too. And people would be like, oh, you're lucky you have big boobs. Yeah, no, I'm not. Because the older you get, the lower they hang. And it doesn't look good anymore. It's really hard for me to find the right bra. They're just going down. Gravity is pulling them down. Okay. And
Yeah.
so these are things that like normal struggles. And I just feel like it's a constant battle to be able to embrace changes like this, to feel
Sure.
okay about it.
And sure, I'm a happy person. I work on myself. Some days I get up, I feel off. And I never felt like this before. I guess it's those chemicals working through us during this stage of our life that make us feel down and out and not happy sometimes. I wake up and feel like, oh, I gotta motivate myself. Moody, up and down, just the mood changes and really motivating myself to get into another place mentally. I feel that that is another part of going through this midlife, perimenopause, or wherever you are in the stage of life, is that your mood, and we can beat ourselves up about it because it's like, I do everything and I don't know why I don't feel good today. And the chemicals in our bodies are changing, and that is probably the reason. Jess, how do you
Yeah.
feel when you get up? I know you're a little younger than me in midlife, but
For me, I feel like it's a lot of not necessarily the emotional part. I won't go down that. My whole history of antidepressants and things like that, like my mental health. Luckily, I'm on a good one right now that helps me, but I have a lot of internal conflict mentally, especially now that we had to get on social media for our business and whatnot. And just all of the input all of the messages and things that you see and noticing things. I go through these
Mhm.
ups and downs, these phases. And there's times where I'll be on FaceTime connecting with my kiddo who's away at college. And this isn't all the time. I guess it's because she's so young and like she's got that glow in that skin. And not that I don't have a glow, but like my eyes start to go to, all right, these opens, they're cropping up.
Mhm.
There's a depression starting there. And I'm like noticing jowls for and things on my face. It's just really hard not to notice and observe these things about yourself. And people who may be older look at this and be like, oh, what are you talking about? You're fine. You're a baby. This is a transitional time. So it's not that easy for us. I mean, I feel like a core challenge is that many women come to, this stage of life. I think it's normal to feel emotionally overwhelmed, sensitive, unsure of yourself. Because I hear you talking about emotional overwhelm, and I hear me talking about like being unsure of myself or not knowing if I'm okay or ready to embrace some of these changes. Some people feel disconnected. There's almost a grief period that is mourning the loss of that woman that you once were. You're not that woman anymore. And so sometimes what happens to us as women is we start telling ourselves this story that something's wrong with me, and a lot of this isn't our fault. A lot of it is the input, the messages we receive. But obviously
Yeah.
today we're here because we're trying to navigate looking at this through a different lens and to
And
offer a different perspective.
yeah, and just going back to, I think where I am with all these changes in my body right now and my emotions right now is that I can recognize and accept that midlife and the perimenopause or the hormonal changes are definitely impacting how I am on a daily basis. But I'm recognizing it, and I can change it. If I'm with my son and I'm real moody and I'm cranky, I maybe don't recognize it in the beginning, but I'm being aware of it maybe at some point during the day and say, hey, honey, it's woman stuff. It's midlife woman stuff. I'm at least acknowledging that. So if you are feeling like that too, and you're, moody, cranky, just being aware of how you are, and that could smooth things over. I'm all about taking a moment and reflecting on it. If it wasn't one of my good ones, and saying, hey, all right, pull back. Now go talk and say, this is what's going on. And sometimes I just can't control it. Like,
So listening to yourself instead of just overriding whatever's happening. And that goes back to that
yes.
awareness piece that we always
Hmm.
talk about. And I'd like to offer this too, because I feel like as coaches and as women in a lot of the work that we've done in our journey over the last however many years, what we've noticed is that renewing your relationship with yourself is really the basis and the start of healing. If you're listening to the beginning of this, it may sound confusing because it's like, well, you said you're experiencing this. Yes, we live these things every day. Something that is helping us to navigate it and has helped us to navigate it is that renewal of that relationship and connection to ourselves.
Yes. And however that looks like for you, however you heal through this midlife journey you're going on, do the things that make you feel good. We do a really good job of beating ourselves up and saying, I don't look good. I don't look pretty. I don't feel good. Oh, this person's better. We at midlife have to get back to ourselves and how we are supposed to be in our own skin, and, not compare ourselves with everybody all the time, because we're all unique in our own way, and we're all aging in our own way.
So we could renew our expectations of who we are at this point of our lives, allowing your needs to change. They've changed.
Yes. And if this resonates with you and you get it and you're going through it, please connect with us.
I think it's important to also talk about to all of the viewers, all the people listening, whoever is feeling these things at whatever level, physically, emotionally, spiritually, there are hidden costs. It's important to notice these things are happening. But when we're not reframing how we're going to function with all of this stuff, you come to a place where you could be just staying in self-judgment, trying to be who you were instead of this person you're becoming.
Just going down a rabbit hole of negativity in this new way in your body and not living your fullest life because you're down and out about it. I mean, I know we're all different and we all, deal with how we're feeling inside in, multiple ways, but just embracing what you're becoming and going with it, embracing the changes in your body and accepting them, because
Yeah.
this is where we are.
I feel like that We're not talking about going backward. It's releasing, like we did in week one, that expectation or that pull to go backward. It's meeting yourself where you are right now. And maybe a possible reframe could be that your body and emotions aren't betraying you, they're communicating with you. They're trying to
Right.
tell you something.
Renewing to me in this stage of life is becoming this new person in your body now. So meet yourself where you are in your body now and be kind and gentle to yourself and just accept all these things that are coming your way because we can really put ourselves down and and our mind goes in a million different directions and puts us in so many different places in a negative way. And if we just change the thought and we embrace it. It's a constant journey, but you can live a full life even in midlife.
So you're talking a lot about noticing, pausing and
hmm
asking what feels different right now, emotionally, physically. Then another practice of what you could do is naming it. I feel more sensitive. I feel tired. I feel unsure about this. So put that word to it, but don't attach the judgment. Just state what it is. I feel like it's because you can't stress the importance enough about notice it, A, B, name
Yes.
it, put a name to it without attaching judgment. And then C, a huge part of this is reflection.
Yeah, or then let it go, like feel all
Yeah.
these things and then let it go and just be at peace with it.
And it's easier said than done. So
Yes.
it can feel very hard to do this alone. Neither of us have had to do this alone because we've had each other and we've coached each other through these things and had coaches who have helped us to really
hmm
expound and have growth by leaps and bounds over this past year, specifically in 2025.
Yeah. So get the help that you need.
So just clarifying that this conversation is not about dismissing medical care. If you're noticing things, we're not by any means telling you, oh, just notice it and live with it. We don't intend to dismiss medical care at all or ignore serious mental health, physical health problems or minimize any distress. If something feels concerning, overwhelming, unsafe, support matters. Seek support. We're not saying pull up your big girl panties and just, this is the season you're in, live with it.
No, but you do need a support system. No man is an island. You need a group of people to help you through.
Yeah. If this conversation is stirring something inside of you and you're not quite sure how to name it yet, we did create gentle guided reflection. It's called Where Are You Right Now? It's not therapy. It's not about fixing anything. It's simply a quiet, guided space where you can pause, reflect, listen, one question at a time, completely free. And the link is below if you'd like support as you navigate what is unfolding for you. So with a closing reflection, if you take anything away from this week, we want you to take away renewal. Renewal doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means honoring who you are becoming. So let's renew. Let's put an emphasis on that because we're stepping into something beautiful. It's what you're going to make of it. We understand. We go through these things.
Yeah, we get it. It's renewing at this stage in your life,
Yeah.
what you're becoming now in this stage of your life.
You can create a renewed vision. If you're unsure and you're working through that identity stuff, just a renewed vision of how do you see yourself in the future? How do you want to be? One thing before we go is that you mentioned this eyelash thing going on. You were like, I'm going to accept this. I'm not going to find a replacement for the missing eyelash. Eyelashes. And that's really cool because that's showing that your acceptance of this whole thing that you're going through. However, it's all individual because maybe you don't want to live that way with a gap in your eyelashes. Maybe you want to find something, that's okay too.
Or I need to learn to not draw attention to it. Because when you draw attention to it, people aren't even noticing. I brought it to Jessie, said I lost it. Well, I see it now that you brought it to my attention. I showed it to my boyfriend. Well, I see it now, but I didn't. We magnify everything in ourselves, and then we want to bring it to other people's attention. And then there's that knowing out there, like, oh, she lost her eyelashes. Easier said than done.
I was going to talk about, and I didn't, my hair, because I ended up talking about my boobs. Anyways, I had a bald spot. Okay. And it could be stress. I don't know what was going on, but I went to the hairdresser. And I've been with her for 3 years, and she said, wow, your hair dried really fast. And I said, okay, what does that mean? Why does something always have to mean something? I'm like, uh-huh. And what is that? She's like, well, your hair's dim. Like, well, what's different? She's like, well, you have less hair. And I'm like, oh, great, here we go. Now I have less hair. Okay, I guess this is part of perimenopause. And then I did have a lot of stress at that time. I was going through a lot of just tons of stress. And this bald spot, this spot with no hair right here. So I had to wear headbands. I mean, it grew back. It's
Well, stress, big part of everybody's life, causes all changes in your body as well. So whether it's midlife stuff, stress, those things cause physical changes in your body.
maybe your eyelashes will grow back.
That's the hope. I even thought of getting fake eyelashes, and I thought, no, because that's a lot of work, and I don't feel like putting fake eyelashes on every day. And let's talk about the ringing in the ear. Of course, I'm Googling and looking things up, and tinnitus, part of perimenopause. So everything
That's
that I'm
really, it said that's part of perimenopause?
Yes, yes. So I said, could the ringing tonight be a part of perimenopause? Yes. If you look up any changes you're going through now,
Yeah.
I've looked up everything that I'm going through now. And yes, even losing eyelashes could be a hormonal thing. Everything is related to like midlife hormonals.
We just go through so many things with our hormones. It's easy to yearn for that place and time of when you were younger. And it's not a deficiency or nothing's wrong with you for wanting to do that. It's easy to do because there's such an emphasis on beauty and youth. You know, what is desired. And now you can't escape it. It's everywhere. It's so hard. That's why I don't want to be on social media. Like, believe me, whatever you want to do to yourself, that's your prerogative. I don't have anything against it, but it's definitely not easy. You look at people now that are supposed to be 70 years old and they look younger than me.
Right.
They're 25 years older, 20 years older, and they look younger than I do. And so we live in this place where we're constantly taken back. We want to escape that. We want to detach from that, but it's kind of hard sometimes because there's so much societal emphasis on beauty and youth.
Right. And I don't know about any of you, despite going through all these physical changes now and mood changes, I definitely feel okay to age gracefully because that's how I want myself to be. I don't want to be compared and I don't want to look like I'm 20 years old because I have a lot of experience in life. And if I'm wanting to go back, I'm saying I want to be that person that I was when I was younger. I want the years to go by where maybe I have wrinkles on my face or jowls and say, you know what? I've lived my life and I'm okay now with aging the way that I'm supposed to age.
Yeah, so finding beauty in this place where you're at, it's just normal to have these thoughts, especially when we're inundated with so much information, so many messages.
In a nutshell, embrace who you're becoming, and that's how you can renew your idea of how you should feel in the stage of your life.
If this conversation resonated or helped you in any way, please comment below. Remember, we're a new YouTube channel, so we love the engagement. We want to hear from you. You can message us directly. It helps us to know what's most supportive. And if you're a woman over 40 on a healing journey, we're exploring identity, meaning, self-discovery, all of the things that we just discussed. We also invite you to check out our Identity Reset workbook created especially for this stage of life. So until next time, bye.
Bye.